I said, if you're not a member of our Google Educator group, come join us. There's also tons of resources that we share there for you. Just by way of introduction, this is our GEG leadership team. I think Cheryl will be joining us a little bit later, and we're excited that she's here as part of our team as well. My name is Emma Moss. I am a digital teaching and learning specialist and AI lead in Canyon School District. I have been part of the GEG Utah team since its beginning, I think, and just excited to be here and connect. And I'm going to pass it off to Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly Cannon. Like Emma said, we've been here since the very beginning. This is year 5, I believe, for us in GEG. And I am a digital learning specialist in Jordan School District. Okay, I'll pass it off to Julie next.
Hi, I am Julie Castor, and I have been a part of the GEG leadership team for, I think this is my 3rd year. And I was a member 1 year prior to that. I'm up in Cache County School District. I teach language arts, and I'm also a digital teaching and learning mentor. And I'm going to pass it off to Deanna.
Yeah, and I'm Deanna Taylor, and I'm a digital learning specialist with Jordan School District. And I've been along for the ride with Kelly and Emma since the beginning. And so we're just grateful that you're here and have some fun with Gemini today. And so I will turn it back over to Emma so we can get started.
Perfect. Thanks, team. Together, our theme this year is Google Together. So learn, teach, share, and connect. Today's meetup is focusing on learning together, and we're learning about Gemini. We're going to have each of us demo some different parts that we love about Gemini. And for those that are here, we'd love it if you connect and collaborate with us. Looks like there's a couple of you here, so you can build along us. So we're going to demo stuff, and I'll try to grab and put things in the chat. So if you want direct links to that information, then we'll have that for you. So here's kind of our guide, then our welcome, what is GEG, who we are, our theme, which is Google Together, and now we're going to do some tasks together. So I am actually going to stop screen sharing and hand off the screen share to Deanna, who's going to do our meeting Gemini. I'll be doing creating with Canvas in Gemini, and some building of gems, and then Julie and Kelly are going to be wrapping us up with some other sections there as well. So I'm going to hand it off to Deanna.
Okay. So let me share my screen. Get over here. Okay. Here we are. Can everybody see this? Okay, can you see that?
You're good, Deanna. We can see it. We can see it.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to start with just getting to know Gemini, but we're also going to talk about the image generation feature that's part of Gemini. It makes it really easy for you to create images for you to use in your classroom. It's Google's chatbot. It can help with Chat Buddy. It's a Google helper. It makes creative fun. It has a lot of Gemini superpowers that we're going to showcase some of those today. So now I'm going to go to a new tab, and I'm hoping that it will allow me to. So we'll see. Okay, here we are. We are in Gemini, and you can get to Gemini. I'll have Emma put it in the chat for you. It's just Google. It's gemini.google.com. And when you open it up, what I really like is right down here, it says to create an image. Y'all see that? And so when we're going to go down there, we're going to create our image. And what I like is it gives you you can create a custom image where you can put the prompt in that you want to. But I really like this to create an image of a superhero. And that's what I did. And so you could do an 80s style makeover. So let's do the 80s style makeover. And what you can do is you can take a selfie or you can import an image. Okay. So you add your selfie in. So I'm going to add my image. I'm going to upload a file. And I've got lots of them in here. I'm just going to grab one here. It's just another image, but I'm going to say, okay, now I'm going to make it. It's going to take just a second. It's going to take this image that I've generated. Fastest one I could find. Not actually a selfie, but close enough. It does take a little. Oh, and here is my 80s style makeover. So that's kind of fun to do that. You can do all kinds of different images with it. I have fun just describing what I want it to make. You see, let's see. Create unicorn with a shiny horn on a, okay. Now let's see what it gives us. We'll see. We'll see. And there we go. So you just have to be creative and prompt it and do whatever you want, but it's just a fun way to create images that you can use in your classroom. I also had a teacher that used this to create images for her ML students to make when she was doing her own text and her own stories that she was presenting to the students, that she could put images in that made it be more inclusive for her classroom. So I'm going to now stop sharing, and I think I turn it on to the next person, and I'm not sure who that was. So let me go check. I think it's Emma. Am I back to Emma?
I think we're back to me.
And this is Gemini. Okay.
Yep. So excited to show you. I just have to, like we talk about creating along with us. So that's what I have been doing in the background. So I'm going to share one tab first. So here's my 80s style makeover. Here's the image I gave it. Here you go.
Oh, that's great.
So if you want a lot of makeup and different things, there you go. Now you can see my 80s style images, which I think is fantastic. Okay, I get to show you this next part, which I think is super fun, and I'm going to share this tab instead. But one of the things that you can, oh, I don't want to share it. Sorry. I actually just want to present. There you go. One of the things that I love is Canvas inside of Gemini. So if you want to create things that are more interactive and more engaging for your students or for you, they have these great interactives. You can actually share them. You can put them on Google Sites. So they are super fun, and you can customize them in any way you want. This is a screenshot of one that I did really quick. Just said create an interactive arcade game that teaches social studies vocabulary, but you can be super specific. So I want to model that real quick. I'm going to go over to Gemini. I think I just stopped sharing, so I'm going to reshare my screen. Hold on. I'm going to come down here. There we go. So when you're on gemini.google.com, there's a lot of buttons down here that you may want to notice. So one is there's ways that you can add files. So if you want to upload files for reference or different things. There's also tools. So you can do a guided learning, a deep research, create images. They also have this Canvas one. So that's the one that I'm going to choose. Essentially, it's going to code something for me. So I just clicked on tools and Canvas. And then I'm going to give it a prompt that I want it to build. So I usually start with like what that interactive part, an interactive game for students. So I'm giving it a purpose. And maybe I'll be more specific, like fourth grade students who are learning about Utah social studies concepts and are reviewing key vocabulary words. I may tell it that, and if that's a little small for you guys, I want the vocabulary to align with the Utah state standards. You can be super specific. And maybe in the theme of Deanna, I want this to be themed as 80s style with unicorns. We're going to go with that today, if that's all right, Deanna. And then maybe I want this to be a quest type game that is really fun with Utah landscapes. I don't know, I gave it a lot of information, okay? I'm going to go ahead and submit this. What Gemini is going to do is it's going to go ahead and think about it for a minute, and then it's going to pop out this panel. This is all of the coding that's happening. So I have Neon Unicorn Quest of Utah. This is going to be fantastic. I can tell already. But this is all the code that's happening in the background that Gemini is coding. There we go. And then it's going to give you a preview. So there's something that's wrong with my code. Sometimes that will happen. So I'm going to say, hey, go ahead and fix the error. It's like, oh no, something happened. Won't let me type. But here's my unicorn. I've got the 80s neon. There's a level here. It's going to try to fix that for it. It found the error, the reference error, apparently. So it's going to go ahead and correct that file for me. It's still thinking. But you can make these fun interactives that allow you to actually play. And here we go. So Arch has typed the vocabulary word. The climate of Utah is very dry. What is the word for very dry? I don't know if I know what the word for very dry is. Anyone have an idea? I'm just going to put dry and see what happens. Oh, that's not right. Try again. Hint, it starts with an A. Oh, like arid? Is that how you spell that? Yeah, look, I have cognitive success. All right, and then it gives me a new one. I have a score of 1. But what I love about these is I can add in Gemini features over here. I can select different parts and ask Gemini to fix those. So I could say like, hey, I want to focus. Maybe I want this unicorn here. I can ask it things in context to say like, ask it about it. But I can also share it. So I can copy this contents. And then that copied contents will actually take that code, copy it, and I can put it like straight onto a Google site. So if I were to go to sites.google.com, let me go get a blank site up, and I'll share it. So here is a blank site. I can go to embed, and I can give it here. There's some embed code. There's my HTML. So I just clicked over here on embed, switch to embed code. Okay, I can insert it, and there is my unicorn vocabulary right on my Google site that then my students can access, which is really cool if you're using Google, because then suddenly you have an interactive, it's giving them formative feedback. So that's my quick unicorn quest. All right, come back to here. So we've looked at Canvas and Gemini, and I think I am also next with building gems to share, which is kind of fun.
Oh, that one's me. Oh,
Do
sorry,
you want to jump in for this? Okay, I'm gonna hand
you
it off
are-
to Kelly.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand off to Kelly.
Okay.
Kelly.
Okay. Perfect. No, it's totally fine. Okay. So I was gonna say really quick that I also did my 80s makeover.
Oh,
So
yes.
and anybody else who wants to share theirs, like we have time at the end to do it. So okay, so here's mine over here. So I picture me with a cactus. And here's what it gave me.
Yours is so much better.
Oh my gosh. And my cactus is like 80s style too. That's what it said. But that's like my natural hair look. So I guess I could have fit in the 80s pretty well. Anyways, all right. So yeah, Emma, if you want to like jump in with anything, I'll just share a quick thing I want to about gems, and then we'll go from there.
You got it.
Okay. So one thing that we like to talk about a lot in our district is that there are different flavors of AI, right? And so you'll see a lot of similarities between the flavors. Like, for example, if they're all ice cream, right? They're all similar, but they have different things that they do. And one thing that I love about the Gemini flavor is gems. And if you haven't heard of what a gem is before, because I feel like a lot of people are still new with gems, then I'm going to show you a little bit about it here. So in your gems, they'll be on the left-hand side of your Gemini chats. And it gets pretty discouraging and depressing when you go to start a new chat in Gemini and it forgets everything about you every time. And you're like, okay, I have to put in again. I'm a 5th grade teacher. I have 300 students. They, whatever it is. And so you can have a gem that will remember things about you, or you can have your gem be like a certain programmed chat bot that will be consistent every time. So it's not like a brand new chat every time you open a blank slate, kind of like Deanna showed us. So if you click on Explore Gems, there are a bunch of different gems already programmed in your Gemini. And I just want to say, and we probably should have said this at the beginning, there are different age limits right now with certain Gemini features. And gems are currently 18 plus as of today. I double checked. So this is just for you and your teachers to try out for now. I'm sure soon it will be 13 plus for gems. So anyway, here's some gems that are programmed in here. And so these are kind of like your AI sidekicks. They can help you be a brainstorming partner, a thought partner. They can create stories for you. And I have a couple of gems saved here as examples. I have an ML accommodation suggestions. So every time I start a chat from that gem, then it will go into these instructions that I put in there, and it will show you like my recents. So I'll show you what that looks like over here in the corner, and like the back end of what a gem looks like. So you can program your gem to have any name you want, a short description that goes on the bottom here. Use the WIDA standards to help me reach my ML learners. And then you can give it instructions in your gem, and you can say like, this is what I want you to be. And you'll tell the AI, you are a coach, you are a teacher, you are a partner, you are whatever you want it to be. And then give it the exact instructions that you want it to do and exactly how you want it to reply. The nice thing is, like, when I started this, then I was like, maybe I need to add this and change that. You can click this, use Gemini to rewrite, and it will like rewrite the instructions for you. And then you can preview over here what you want your gem to look like and update. And Google just recently announced in the last couple of months that gems are now you're able to share your gem with other teachers in your district. So if we go over to explore gems here, that's what this little share option is for. So people can add your gems to their library now of gems. And so I have a SAMR gem, which is different ways to use technology in your classroom. I also have, this is a fun gem. It makes a Jeopardy game for you. So I have the code so that the template every time I can use that. But I do want to ask Emma for a minute if you'll share some of your gems that you have with us. So I'll pause here for a sec.
I was just gonna say there was just one. I didn't have anything major, but I can show one of them for you. Hold on. I don't have a lot in my school account, but let me edit it so you can see. This is one that I built. Hold on. Yeah. There we go. So this is a feedback and thought partner. This is one that we've just started sharing across. I don't have, like I said, I don't have a ton in my school account. I have lots in my personal, but some of them are, I'll tell you about those in a second. This is a feedback and thought partner. So what I did is I worked with one of the teachers. This is a thought partner who's planning curriculum for government and citizenship in 12th grade. And then I had them upload the information from those courses and the standards for government and citizenship. So now they can just work back and forth. And then I can share this and work with them. Like I said, I only have this one here, but because I do them on my other personal account. But you can do anything with gems. Some things that I've done I have one that's a grocery planner. So it has preferences programmed in. So things that I like. For example, like I don't really like onions very much in food. I should admit that to the whole Google community. Like I like them cooked, but like raw onions in things is just a lot. And so I have it navigate away from those. And so it has that saved information. I also have one that I can upload any sort of meeting notes, and then it gives me like action items from it. That one's really helpful if you use transcripts inside of Google Meet. You can just take the transcript and then upload it into a gem. Anyways, there's a couple of them, but they're really fun. And I think what I love is they're like pretty intuitive, like it's just instructions and knowledge. And then you get a chance to kind of preview and play in a process with it. So
I'm so glad that you shared that. Don't feel bad. Not everyone likes onions. I hate pickles. Deanna also is a picky eater. I know that.
I don't like onions. Don't like onions. Nope.
But I'm glad that you shared that. Like, there's personal uses for gems too.
yes,
we do in our district. We have like one of our coaching specialists has a gym night coaching gem, and so she'll ask it questions and then it will answer like it's gym night. And so it's kind of fun to give like a persona to a gem too. One more thing I wanted to share is our what should we say? Who we look up to in the Google community, Eric Kurtz. We're his biggest fans here at GEG Utah. He's the leader of GEG Ohio, and he made this website just maybe, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago. And this is called Gems. It's a Google site. And he's always adding new gems that you can do like for all these different things. And when I was looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought about like the different possibilities, like assessment gem, student support gem, email gem, field trip gem. So that's just a little bit about that if you want to check that website out. Hey, I'm going to hand it over to Julie, I think, next.
Yeah, I think it's me. Okay, I am so excited to talk a little bit more about Gemini. You guys have such great ideas. I always learn so much from all of you. Okay, so here is my, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about just diving in deeper with Gemini and thinking about what Gemini supports. So I have a couple little screencasts that you'll see over here. One of them, I'm using Notebook LM. So I built an animal farm notebook with some of my teachers, ninth grade teachers in my building. They wanted to explore the themes from Animal Farm a little more deeply with their students and help students see that they could synthesize their ideas in a different way. So their culminating task for their students was to create a podcast. So we used Notebook LM to create a podcast kind of as an exemplar so students could see different capabilities. I'll also talk a little bit about Google Labs, and then I will talk about a couple functions that you can see inside of Drive on its own. The capabilities of Gemini are truly endless. So let's dive in a little bit more. So over here, I have Gemini built. And then over here to the side, I wanted to mention under our settings and help, there are a few different things that you can go in and kind of tweak to fit your needs. If you come down here to your apps, you can turn Gemini on and off in all of your applications, your Google applications that you're running. And it's kind of nice. You can use this to make your workflow a little bit more seamless and help you feel more productive in a lot of different places. So let's dive in a little bit. So inside of Gemini, one of the things that I've really enjoyed is having that function turned on where Gemini will talk to your other Google applications. So for example, let's say that I want to summarize a document. So we just started a new trimester in my building. And so one thing that we've been talking about in one of my classes is how you can summarize, analyze, paraphrase, and do all these different things, and just revisiting some old skills. So maybe I say, analyze the document. And also thank you for being patient. If you hear a lot of little talking in the background, my 7-month-old is finding her voice, and so she's just having a party back here. Okay, so rhetorical self-portrait, and I can tag any of my applications that I've enabled. So I could say summarize this document, and maybe I say give me the 5, I'm going to say 5 main points of the tasks required. And then Gemini will take a minute to think about this. It will double check through my applications because I've enabled that. And then over here we can see, okay, it looked at Google Workspace. And I can also try it without the applications, but I want it to look through that document. So now I have a nice little summary. This is an assignment that requires you to design a self-portrait on a single page. And here's what you're doing. You're conveying 5 key pieces of information called the required elements or the 5 canons of you. And then it gave me the 5 bullet points. So here are their main tasks. They need to include these 5 details. So that's really helpful. Let's say that I have a student who just needs things summarized. That could be really useful for them. Or I think of lots of documents that I look at as a teacher, and sometimes you just have a lot of notes from maybe a meeting, a faculty meeting, and you want those all summarized into one quick little quick little sentence or a few key points, this is a great way that you can do that inside of Gemini. Hopping outside of Gemini itself, inside of Notebook LM, if you haven't played around with Notebook LM, I feel like it's become more popular recently. It is a really, really wonderful application that uses Google Gemini. So, for example, let's say that I hop over here. This is one of my notebooks that I've built. I can add in all sorts of sources. I can add in PDFs, I can add in links, I can add in Google Docs, and I can add lots and lots of different sources. And then over here in Studio, I can tell Gemini what I'd like it to help me with. One of the most popular that I mentioned earlier is creating an audio overview, where this will generate an AI podcast. And you have some co-hosts who talk to each other, and it's really, really cool. So, for example, if I go here, I can play a podcast that I've already created. And so you have a few different hosts that talk to each other, which is so fun. And then I can also go into interactive mode where I can pitch into the conversation myself. So I can turn on my mic and join the conversation, and that can shift the output that I'm seeing from the AI, which is, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't played around with it, I highly recommend it. You can also create reports, mind maps, flashcards, and there's so many different capabilities within this tool. So Notebook LM uses Gemini quite a bit to create some really neat things that you can then take, use, share. I also wanted to mention Google Labs. Gemini has there's a few different experiments that are currently ongoing in Google Labs. There's always wonderful recommended AI tools. And you can even use Gemini to ask, right? Maybe I say, I want to simulate a historical event, let's say from the 1920s, just for example. I want to use this to model, let's see, critical thinking in a, let's say, 9th grade class. What Google Labs experiments do you recommend? So again, using Gemini to kind of help you not only think of different ways to engage your students and yourself and explore, but it also is full of really great recommendations as well. Okay, now hopping out of there, I also wanted to mention when you're working inside of Chrome, you can use Gemini inside of Chrome, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. So let me show you something that I was doing earlier today. So I'm going to hop over here to my Google Drive. And one thing that I was considering this afternoon is my workflow, my general workflow. Over here, you can see I have a few different folders built inside of Chrome, and I use those to help me go through the different things that I need to on a daily basis, right? So if I come over here to Gemini, I could also ask, hey, let's look at this current tab. And I could say, can you summarize my daily workflow and recommend, let's say, repeating tasks to close out my day? And I'll let it think for a moment. And then, okay, interesting request is what I was told. Over here, here's a daily workflow summary. So here are the things that I'm currently focusing on. Curriculum development and review. Yes.
Is it just me? Is it not showing up for me?
Oh, hang on.
Because I was just seeing your drive screen. I'm not seeing where it's reading. Oh, infinite.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Let me go ahead and stop.
I just want to make sure that we can see what you're seeing because it sounds so cool. I was like listening and processing, and I was like, wait, something switched.
Let me go ahead and let's see. I think I have it on here. Let me do that. So on this page, I have like a little screen grab. So I'll show you and I'll just kind of talk you through it. Yeah, so over here, I've got Gemini inside of Chrome. And what I did was ask it to walk me through my workflow and help me kind of rethink things and kind of help me know, what am I prioritizing? What should I be looking at? And
Okay.
so over here,
I see.
you can see it kind of walking me through it. So I've said, can you summarize my workflow? And then it kind of summarized, here are the different modes you're working in: curriculum and AP teaching, administrative and professional development, team and academic Olympiad management, tech training, and collaboration. So it was kind of neat. It pulled in specific examples of what it was talking about. And it was kind of neat. It gave me a different way to engage with Gemini. And that's definitely something I'm going to keep playing around with in the future. So I think here what I'm trying to say and summarize is there's so many different possibilities. Once you get the hang of playing around with Gemini a little bit, thinking about it in a different way other than just how can I use the standard application on the web can kind of help open more doors for you. So for example, using that inside of Chrome, very, very cool.
That I did because I took screenshots of my wonderful team, and they are amazing superheroes. And I put them into Gemini and said, make them a superhero. And so you can see the Emma, and there's Kelly, and there's Julie, and they're all superheroes flying over the city.
I love it.
So I just had to share that. So that's what I learned, that I could take a screenshot of them and turn them into a superhero.
That's
That's amazing.
I love this team. It's so fun. Okay. I got turned into a superhero today. Just
Uh-huh.
all right. I'm gonna turn over to Kelly for some announcements, Kelly and Julie, and then we'll wrap up here.
Yeah, sure. Deanna, that was great. I love that. I was thinking like Google Tropolis or something. That should be the city.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
So really quick, these are just some things we're gonna announce in our newsletter, I guess, tomorrow. But there is a Google Edu on Air series, and they do like different instructional videos, like on demand, so you can listen to them when you want. But these ones are actually both scheduled. There's one tomorrow that's Gemini youth experience. That looks pretty interesting. So if you're interested in turning on Gemini for your 13 plus students, that might be a good one to go to and hear what other people are doing. And then there's another one. I think it's next. Nope. I don't know what day the 20th is. Thursday. That's exploring Google for Education educator programs. And it's talking about like different certifications. I know I've mentioned in our previous emails in August is when they updated the level 1 test, and level 2 is almost complete. So in the next little bit, if you need to recertify or certify for the first time, just keep watching for those. Also, Google just announced a new course. It was like in conjunction with Coursera, and it's Google School for Leaders. And what the course is called is Google People Management Essentials. I've heard it's really good, especially if you're in a leadership position. Also, Google Arts and Culture has like a new section, a virtual field trip about Route 66 or Route 66, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And I really like it. There's like pictures that your students can see and experiences. So check that out. And then the last thing on the bottom of my page is that Gemini certification. So Gemini Certified Educator exams are live right now. And I put a link to just a really quick YouTube video about how to become one of those. It basically just shows that you're experienced and competent in Gemini. And it's a free exam. It doesn't take very long. Most of us, it took about 30-ish minutes. You can use Gemini, like you can go into Gemini while you're taking the exam. So it's a good certification to have under your belt. Okay, Julie, it's you.
Okay. If you can go to the next slide, Kelly, that would be awesome. Or whoever's running the slides. So another thing that I wanted to mention is that the Google AI and EDU fellowship resources are live and ready to view. They have run, let's see, two cohorts. I believe they're running the third cohort right now. So they ran a cohort out of South America, North America, and I believe they are in the UK this time. So these are educator created resources. A lot of them use AI tools. Gemini was really, really new in the second cohort. And so that is a really, really awesome resource. So I've linked it on the page, but they have a little video demonstration where they talk about a project they've created. There's also an educator guidebook where you can access a lesson plan template, a bunch of different resources so you can recreate those things in your own role. So if you're a teacher, there are educator specific sources, but there's also educational leader resources. Or if you're in a district position, they have district position resources as well. So another great free resource that you can take and utilize and share. And that is it.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you. We're so glad that you came today, spent 45 minutes with us, connecting and learning together.